G'day everyone, welcome back to another exercise video. What we're going to go through today are 4 simple stretches that you can do every day to help you improve your flexibility and get you moving better and feeling better also. Now, as always, before any workout video, it's a good idea to do a warm-up, or you should do a warm-up video. So I'm going to pop a link to a warm-up video up here in the corner. Make sure you do it before you get into it. I know you're probably thinking, but we're only doing stretches. But it's a good idea to warm up your body even before doing stretches to get your muscles and your joints ready to go. Okay, once you've done the warm up, let's get into the stretches. You're going to sit up nice and tall in your chair, shoulders back and down. And what we're going to start with is stretching the front of our body. Now, the reason why it's a good idea to stretch out the front of the body every single day is because a lot of us, most of each day, spends our time in this forward hunched over position, which means the muscles at the front of our body become tight and the muscles in the back become weaker as well. Now, it's a good idea to correct this posture every single day. If you feel yourself slouching, sit up nice and tall, open up that chest. And for now, what we're going to do is stretch everything out. So sitting up tall, as I said, shoulders back and down. Bring your arms down like this, keeping them straight. And what you're going to do is bring your arms back and you're going to squeeze those shoulder blades together. We're going to hold this stretch for 20 seconds. So really focus on opening up that chest, keeping the shoulders down, squeezing those shoulder blades together. And let's hold for another 5 seconds. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent work. Quick shake out of those arms. Let's bring our arms up like this. And we're just going to do the exact same thing. So bring those arms back, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And let's hold this for 20 seconds. So following along with me, making sure you maintain that upright posture. Don't slouch over. Come back up. Squeeze those shoulder blades together. And we've got another 8 more seconds to go. And 3 seconds. 3, 2, 1. Excellent work. Shaking out those arms. And we're going to bring up the arms even higher now. Now, if you have trouble with this, just keep to the first 2 positions. Bring those arms up. Excellent work. Now we're going to do the same thing, squeezing those shoulder blades together, feeling the stretch in your back as well as your chest. Excellent work. Holding this for 15 more seconds. Following along with me, focus on squeezing those shoulder blades together. Excellent work. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great work. Shaking out those arms, taking a deep breath in and out. Okay, now what we're going to do is just stretch up as far as we can to the ceiling. That's it, as far as you can, coming back down. Now this isn't one of the stretches, we're just going to elongate that spine. This is another good stretch, but it's not one of the ones we're going to focus on today. Excellent work, all the way up to the ceiling, great work, and coming down. Okay, so the next stretch we're going to do is a stretch to stretch out our lumbar spine. Again, we spend so much time doing tasks at the front of the body, whether it's doing dishes, whether it's washing your hands, whether it's making the bed. A lot of it's done at the front of the body, so you're always leaning forward. What we want to do is stretch out that lumbar spine, those lumbar spine muscles by doing an extension stretch, which is the opposite to what we usually do in our daily life. So what we're going to do is place the hands in the small of our back, like this. If you do have trouble getting your hands around like this because you've got tight shoulders, you can use the back of your hands, and then once in that position, what you're going to do is just lean into your hands like this, feeling the stretch in your lower back. And we're going to hold this for 30 seconds, so relaxing into the stretch, getting a bit more of a stretch in that lumbar spine. Excellent work, guys. Holding the stretch, feeling that stretch, placing your feet in the position most comfortable to get the stretch. And you can do this in a standing position as well. Okay, let's hold for another 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Coming forward. Okay, the next stretch we're going to do is a groin stretch. You can do this stretch in a standing position. You're going to come forward in your chair. What you're going to do is place one leg out to the side like this, with your toes facing the front, and then this other leg's going to come out a little bit to this side, and what you're going to do is just lean forward slightly with this leg straight, and you're going to feel that stretch in the inner thigh. Now As I've said for the last exercises, a lot of this tightness comes from a lot of our everyday positions, and if we spend a lot of time in a seated position, our hips are going to tighten up. So you will feel this stretch today, stretching out those inner thighs, and you will feel a lot of relief because they can become tight over time. So let's hold this for another 20 seconds, following along with me, feeling that stretch. Let's keep the chest up, let's lean slightly forward a little bit. Excellent work. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Let's do the same thing on the opposite side, bringing that leg out to the side. Notice my toes are facing the front. Let's bring this other leg out a little bit. Now what we're going to do is keep that chest up, lean slightly forward a little bit as far as you feel comfortable. Let's hold this for 60 seconds, feeling a stretch in that inner thigh. Got about 45 seconds to go. Maintain that upright posture, lean forward, relax into the stretch. Feel it in the inner thigh. Excellent work, guys. We've got one more stretch after this one, which is a standing stretch. Okay, let's lean slightly forward a little bit more, as far as you feel comfortable. No need to push too far into the stretch. Gradually increase it over time. As long as you're feeling that stretch and feel it working a little bit, that's the spot to be working into. Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent work. Taking a deep breath in and out. Now the stretch we're going to finish off with is another hip stretch, but we're also going to stretch other parts of our lower body as well. So, as I've said throughout this exercise video, we do spend a lot of time in a seated position, and what happens then, our hips become tighter. Now think about what happens when we sit down. Our legs are in this position, which means these muscles in the front of the hips become shorter, which is the tightness we're getting. So what we're going to do is stand up nice and tall behind our chair. We're going to bring one leg back. Bring it as far back as you feel comfortable. Keep that back leg straight. Keep this front leg straight for now as well. And as you can see, I've already increased that angle of my hip by bringing it back. So it's in more of an extended position, and from this position we're getting that stretch in the hip. Now what we also want to do is get a stretch in the calf as well, which is the muscle in our lower leg. What we're going to do is bend our front leg, hold onto the chair, and we're just going to lean forward like this. So we're stretching out the hip, and we're stretching out the calf as well in our back leg. So you're not bending that back leg, you're keeping it straight, your hips are facing the front, and you're holding this position, following along with me. That's it, excellent work. Let's hold this for another 35 seconds. That's it, maintain that upright posture with this exercise as well. Don't slouch over, keep everything upright, keep that core nice and tight. Excellent work, guys. Let's bring that knee a little bit further forward, as far as you feel comfortable. Make sure that back leg remains straight. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Excellent work. Now we can increase or work the muscles in the front of our leg as well by doing a quadricep stretch. So if you can grab onto your leg, bringing it back like this, making sure you're holding onto the chair. Don't worry if you can't do this stretch. For now, guys, just follow along with the other stretches, but maintaining that upright posture, holding onto that leg. This is an optional stretch. We're going to hold it for 30 seconds. So we've got about another 15 seconds to go, following along with me. Excellent work. And 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job. Shaking out those legs, taking a deep breath in and out. Now let's do the same for the opposite leg. We're going to bring that back leg back. We're going to keep that front leg straight, feeling the stretch already, holding onto the chair. Let's bring that leg forward, keeping that back leg straight, bending the knee, bringing it forward towards the chair, feeling the stretch in the back of the leg and the hips if you do have tight hips. And let's hold this for 60 seconds. So we've got about another 40 seconds to go. Following along with me, again, relaxing into the stretch, but focusing on those points I keep mentioning, keeping that back leg straight, bending that front leg, keeping that upright posture. Excellent work, guys. Got 20 seconds to go. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Excellent work, guys. Shaking out those legs. We're just going to finish off with that optional quad stretch. So bringing the leg up, standing in that upright posture, shoulders back and down. That's it, excellent work. Holding on nice and tight to the chair, stretching out the quads, the muscles at the front of the leg. Okay, we're going to hold this for another 10 more seconds. And 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Great job shaking out those legs. Taking a deep breath in and out. And we're all done for today for that exercise video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did enjoy that exercise video, make sure you give it the thumbs up and subscribe to this channel for regular exercise videos designed for seniors to help you improve your health and fitness. I'll catch you next time for another exercise video. I'll see you then.
Hi guys, it's Joanna here. Let's talk about our bodies. So without any judgment, I want you to look into the mirror. What do you see? Do you see long, slim limbs, wide hips, and perhaps more fat accumulation around the belly area? Or a more sporty, muscular body? We know just how complex our body types can be, but knowing where you fit in could help determine the best exercise and diet plan for you. So in this video, we want to find out your dominant body type and understand the exercises and diet that works best for your body and help you form more realistic goals. What is your body type? We are all created different, but just as beautiful. Typically, there are 3 dominant body types: ectomorph, mesomorph, and endomorph. Your genetics predispose you towards one of the 3 body types, and you can't change that. However, with dedication to your training and also eating right, you can get closer to another body type. But do understand that your daily exercise, diet habits, lifestyle, and even metabolic changes through pregnancy or menopause can skew your body type. So if you are uncertain where you fit in, just think about how you look like in your late teens or early 20s. So let's take a look at the 3 dominant body types. Ectomorphs. Simply put, these are people who seem to eat whatever they want and never gain any weight because they have a fast and high metabolism. They are usually thin and lanky. They have smaller bone structure with shoulders that tend to be narrower than their hips. Just think of the endurance athletes or your typical model. Typically, your goal is to gain weight. Second, mesomorphs. You have a medium bone structure and an athletic body. You are considered to have the good gene because you have an efficient metabolism, which means it is easier for you to gain muscle or even to lose fat. If you keep to an active and healthy lifestyle, it is relatively easy for you to maintain your weight. Yes, you can gain weight, but once you get back into eating well and exercising, the excess weight comes off pretty easily too. Typically, your goal is to lean up. Finally, endomorphs. You have a soft, rounded body. You have a stockier bone structure with a larger midsection and hips. You find that you gain fat so easily just by eating a small chocolate bar, but you struggle to lose weight. Your metabolism is naturally slower, hence you have to pay more attention to what you eat in order to get fit. And typically, your goal is to lose weight. These are the 3 dominant body types. You may find that you don't fit perfectly into one category, but a mixture of 2 body types. Hence, you may be an ectomesomorph. This body type is lean and muscular. Or mesoendomorph. You are strong, but the muscles aren't well defined, like a rugby player. Or endomesomorph, the skinny fat people who is naturally thin but gain weight due to lack of exercise and a poor diet. So what is your body type? Let me know in the comments below. Once you figured out which body type you fall into, let's further understand the types of exercises and diet that fits your goals and needs. Let's start with ectomorphs. Since your goal is to gain weight and lean muscle mass, we want to focus on resistance training and limit cardio or endurance type training. Your training should be focused on strength and hypertrophy, which is to build muscle. In order to gain strength and size, you want to be lifting heavy. The weights should be heavy enough for you to only be lifting between 6 to 10 reps, with longer rest times, 1 to 2 minutes between sets, and go for 3 to 4 sets. Follow a simple routine with heavy compound movements and minimal isolation movements per muscle group. Compound movements are basically exercises that work several muscles or muscle groups at once. Because compound movements recruit a large number of muscle fibers, it is the most effective way to build muscle mass and quickest to increase overall strength. Some of the workouts include squats, lunges, bench press, push-ups, deadlift, and pull-ups. Aim to strength train at least 3 to 4 times weekly on every alternate days. Go for short cardio sessions, between 10 to 20 minutes twice weekly. You can treat it as your warm-up to avoid burning too much calories or muscle mass, but it is still important to improve your stamina and heart health. When it comes to your diet, you should eat a mass gain focused diet because your body tends to burn off energy really fast compared to other body types. Your calorie intake should be 700 to 1000 calories more than what your body needs to maintain your current body weight. The low carb, fat loss diets are not for you. Aim for higher carb, moderate protein, and low fat. So go for 50% carbs, 30% protein, and 20% fat. Here's an example of what your portion should look like. Since your metabolic rate is very high, you need to keep fueling your engine. So try to eat more frequently, every 2 to 4 hours. And for some who are extremely thin, incorporating mass gainer nutritional shakes into your diet can help as well, because they are very high in calories. So if you aren't sure how to calculate your BMR, TDEE, macros, or even how much you should eat, then do watch my video on how to calculate food portions and macros. All the links will be in my description box below. Mesomorphs. Well, count yourself lucky because you are naturally strong and respond quickly to exercise, making it easier for you to gain mass, lose weight, and stay lean. For this reason, you want to aim on a wide performance spectrum, focusing on strength, size, and endurance. You can dedicate a block of exercise to strength, a block to hypertrophy, and a block to endurance training. Mix it up and avoid focusing only on one type of training because you will lose muscle mass if you are too focused on endurance conditioning. And you can gain excess fat if you only perform heavy resistance training. So for example, incorporate moderate to heavy strength training 3 to 4 times weekly and mix it up with HIIT workouts as your cardio 2 to 3 times weekly. Typically, your goal is to lean up. You want to maintain your body weight but to lose fat and increase muscle tone. Mesomorphs fall somewhere in the middle, so your macros should be split pretty evenly between carbs, protein, and fats. So go for 35% of carbs, 35% of protein, and about 30% of fats. Here's an example of your food portion. Your food intake can also be adjusted according to your training days. For instance, reduce on carb and increase on protein on strength and conditioning days. Whereas on HIIT workout days, you can increase your carb intake post-workout to fuel your body. As for your total calorie intake, you want to eat enough to maintain your current body weight. But if your goal is to lose a little bit of weight, then consume slightly less. As an endomorph, you may feel like you are destined to be overweight. If you are thinking that right now, this is absolutely not true. You can change your body by changing your lifestyle. If your metabolism is sluggish, you need to eat the right food to fire up your metabolism. If you lead a sedentary lifestyle, get moving and incorporate exercising as part of your daily routine. You need to do what's right for your body and not blame it on genetics. When it comes to exercising, resistance training is still key, but adding more endurance training will have to increase your metabolic rate and shed fat. A higher muscle mass will increase your BMR, hence making your body more efficient in burning fat. Go for 3 to 4 days of strength training. Your aim is to complete more work in less time. That means shorter rest periods, because we want to keep your heart rate elevated throughout the majority of a session. And go for moderate weights, where you can perform between 8 to 15 reps per set and only rest between 30 to 60 seconds. Incorporate compound movements because it helps you to burn more calories. Interval and circuit trainings are also very effective, which is what most of my workout videos are based upon. You should also know that your muscles are strong, especially your lower body, so you can really lift. Powerlifters or rugby players are often classified as endomorphs. As for the remaining days, go for endurance training. It can be 2 days of lower intensity conditioning for 30 to 60 minutes, such as inclined walk, light jog, biking, hiking or swimming, and once a week, do a HIIT workout. Don't forget to also dedicate 1 day a week for rest and recovery. What's even more important is your diet. You tend to be more insulin resistant and have a lower carbohydrate tolerance. Hence, you should limit your carb intake. You do better on higher protein and fat with lower carbs. So go for 20% carbs, 45% protein and 35% fat. Hence, that is why most overweight people do well on a keto diet. Because your body do not tolerate carbs very well, the best method is to avoid high carb or starchy carb foods outside of the workout window. So only consume starchy foods such as rice, whole grain breads, quinoa, barley, yams, or potatoes after exercising. That means outside of your workout window, your diet should consist of protein, healthy fats, and vegetables. So here's an example of your meal. Now, in order to lose weight, your total daily calorie intake should be at least 500 to 700 calories less than your total daily calorie expenditure. But you still need enough calories to maintain a healthy lifestyle. Do not undereat, because that will only cause damage to your metabolism, workout performance, and will only hinder your weight loss. So again, what's your body type and what are your goals? Let me know in the comments below. Remember, there is no one simple solution to achieving your health and fitness goal. If you have been eating well and exercising, but you're not getting the results you're looking for, then perhaps you're not doing it correctly according to your body type. You have to keep trying different methods and see how your body responds and keep tweaking and progressing through the journey. And there is no shortcuts. It's all about being consistent with your workouts, eating a clean and well-balanced diet, managing your stress levels, and just trusting the process. It is not an overnight transformation, not even a few weeks. It will take months and even years. Hence, I always believe that fitness is for life. There's no deadline to it.
Welcome to Strength Side. If you're looking for a quick, potent stretching flexibility routine, you're in the right place. Now, I'm a much bigger fan of spending the majority of your time doing stuff, moving, playing a sport. You can make a lot of gains in flexibility for little time if you do the right things and if you do it very consciously. So that's what we're gonna do here today. This is a follow along. We're only gonna go through it one time. I truly believe that you can make incredible progress with doing this one time through twice a week. Now, as your body gets more resilient to these exercises, you can go ahead and go through it 2 times or even 3 times. But start with 1 and watch the gains that you make. It'll be incredible. So this first one is variations of a couch stretch, okay? So we're gonna need a wall like so. And we're going to put the knee all the way up against the bottom of the wall. Now my toe is pointed here. Now use some padding, okay? A lot of people ask me how I'm able to put my knee on these hard floors like this. It's because I've done it a lot, right? The knees can become resilient if you want them to, but it's not necessary. Use a little pad or a cushion. Now I'm gonna bring this leg up like so. We're gonna stay in this low position with one hand on the ground. Now what I want you to do is I want you to move your butt back towards your heel, and then we're going to press the hips down to the ground, right? So this front of the hip, this quad hip flexor is getting a big stretch, and I'm squeezing my butt muscle back here, okay? So I come back, and then I press. We're gonna do this around 8 to 10 times. And every time, see if you can squeeze a little harder and get the hip towards the ground a little bit more. You're gonna feel a big stretch here in the front of the hip, okay? Now this was actually taught to me by my coach, Will Brown. You can find him on Instagram at WBrown7. We'll flash it on the screen. He's a big inspiration if you're into moving your body gracefully, being strong, all that good stuff. So we'll do about 3 more here. This last one we're gonna hold for 5 seconds. Squeeze, press. Okay, now this next part is gonna depend what your level of flexibility is. For some of you, you're gonna need to move your knee away from the ground a little bit. That's our dog Shiloh doing a little photobomb. But if you can, keep it as close to the wall as possible. From here, we're going to lift our torso up like so, okay? Now once again, levels of flexibility, right? Some of us are gonna need to be out here. If you can, and over time from doing this routine, you'll be able to straighten up more like this. Now we're getting a lot of length through this quad here. I want you to breathe. Breathe through the nose. As you signal to your body that you're safe, you'll get more comfortable here, and your body will let you get more and more range. The ultimate goal is that I can move my head back touching the wall. Hey, Shiloh. And then eventually we get those shoulders back touching the wall as well. We want to do that without arching too much through our spine. We want to keep some tension here in the belly. Not even tension, we just want to keep the rib cage down. We want to focus on the breath. Once you can achieve this level here, you're going to be good, right? You're going to be prepared to do anything that you want to do in terms of sport. I'm not saying you'll never get injured, but you're going to be at a very, very good level, okay? So let's do the other side now. So we get that knee all the way up against the wall. And now first, we're gonna do this flossing motion. Bring the butt back to the heel and then floss it down. Breathe, squeeze the butt. You'll probably find that you have one side that's a little bit more sticky than the other. That's completely normal. We are all asymmetrical beings. Nobody is completely symmetrical. Don't worry if one side's a lot tighter than the other. Just work on improving both sides. Let's do 3 more. Hold 5 seconds. Now the reason why we do this is because this prepares us to lift up. If we didn't do that flossing motion before, lifting up would be like, oh no. But because we did, I'm prepared. This hip is more open. Now I can get to this position and breathe. Shiloh, she's chewing your shoe. My head goes, I breathe. and eventually my shoulders touch. Keep in mind, I've done this a lot. You'll probably be nowhere near this in the beginning, but it's good to have these markers that we can shoot for, right? I was nowhere near this in the beginning, but I had this marker and I worked my way there. Slowly over time, not all at once. Okay, great. So that is our quad stretch. Now notice we spent about 2 minutes in each position there. Actually, I have no idea, probably 1 to 2 minutes. That is very intentional stretching. It's not just this, right? This isn't gonna do much for you. Okay, next stretch is going after the backside now, these hamstrings, right? A lot of people get stiff here. And the way that I like to go about breaking through some of the stiffness is to bend over like so, grab the back of your legs, and then from here, straighten the knees. Now, of course, your torso is gonna probably come up as you straighten. The stiffer your hamstrings are, the more you'll come up. But what you'll do each time is you bend the legs, and then you try to keep your torso down a little bit more each time, right? So we're flossing through these hamstrings here. That's about 5, 6, 7, 8. Now I'm gonna really start to crank myself down because my hammies are getting nice and lubricated now. And on this last one, I'm gonna hold for 10 seconds. Straighten your knees as much as you can. Don't let those micro bends happen. Straightening the knees is how we gain a lot of flexibility through the hammy and the calf. And now from here, what we're gonna do is we're going to lift up. We're gonna stand up straight. I think it's very important to stretch the hamstrings with the folded back and also with the arched back. So now I want you to tilt your pelvis like this, really arch through your spine, keep your head up to get more spinal extension. And we're gonna go as deep as we can with maintaining arch here. Now we're just gonna hold. If you can get your fingertips to the ground while still holding the arch, here's another thing to shoot for, then you're doing pretty well. And relax. Awesome. So, one thing I learned from Ben Patrick, Knees Over Toe Guy on Instagram, is to elevate the toes a little bit. So for some of us, it may feel like the hamstrings are tight, but it's really the calves. So if you don't have a slant board like this, you can just put books underneath your toes, and we can do that same thing. If you find that the calves are a big limiter for you, we do the same thing, flossing here. But now because the toes are elevated, we're getting more stretch through the calf here, okay? So that's something to play with. If it seems like it'll help you, then elevate those toes when you do this. I like to elevate the toes because I get some tightness back here through the calf behind the knee. Okay, guys.
Have you ever had a workout session where you felt like you were smashing it and gave your best? Whereas on some training days, you feel like it just wasn't your best effort, although you tried. Perhaps you might even experienced lightheadedness, sluggishness, or muscle cramps during your workout. There are lots of different factors behind it. But consuming the right pre- and post-workout meals can also play a huge role to your workout performance. They help you perform your best and shape your results. Let's take a deeper look into the purpose of pre-workout versus post-workout meals, meal timing, and what you should be eating. Let's first look at pre-workout meals. What is the role of consuming a pre-workout meal? It's simple. To fuel your activity and give your body what it needs to perform at its peak. In order to do that, your body needs two things: carbs and protein. Carbohydrates are the body's quickest and easiest source of fuel. They're especially important for high endurance training and explosive training, for example, HIIT workouts, sprinting, powerlifting, and other fast-paced intense sports. And the harder and longer your body is working, the more carbs you'll need to keep going. There are two different types of carbs: simple carbs and complex carbs, and they will have a different effect on the body and your performance. Simple carbs or quick carbs come from simple sugars that are digested rapidly, providing you with immediate energy. Examples include fruits such as bananas, apples, dried fruits, rice cakes, fruit juice, honey, sports gels, and other high sugar foods. Complex carbs or slow carbs typically come from starchy high fiber foods that are slower to digest, hence making them a great source for long-lasting energy. Examples include whole grains, oats, beans, lentils, broccoli, potatoes, and pasta. Because complex carbs take longer to digest, it should be consumed 2 to 3 hours prior to your training. For instance, it can be your lunch at 2 p.m. and your training can be at 5 p.m. Simple carbs, on the other hand, can be consumed 30 to 60 minutes prior to training, and it can be a small snack. As a general rule of thumb, do not eat immediately before a workout. Not only can it cause digestive discomfort, but this also creates competing demands on the body if your stomach is trying to digest food at the same time you're pushing your muscle to perform. Depending on the intensity and duration of your training, you may need to consume both simple and complex carbs. Say you were planning for a long run and a sprint session that can last up to 2 hours. Then you need to fuel your body with enough complex and simple carbs. However, if your training session only lasts between 45 to 60 minutes, then a small snack with simple carbs is enough to fuel your performance. In addition to carbs, it is also important to consume a little bit of protein before your workout, especially if you're doing weight training. When we do strength training, we create small tests in our muscle fibers. By consuming protein, this increases the number of amino acids in the body, and they help to repair those microtests, maintain your lean mass, promote the building of muscle mass, and fuel your strength training even more efficiently. Here are some great pre-workout snacks that include a balance of simple carbs and protein. Supplements can also be useful before exercise. It can help to enhance performance, improve strength, reduce fatigue, and increase lean muscle mass. Two of my favorite supplements which I do consume pre-workout are caffeine and BCAA. Caffeine can be found in coffee, tea, energy drinks, as well as pre-workout supplements. It has been shown to improve performance, increase strength and power, reduce fatigue, and stimulate fat burning. Personally, I like to have a cup of black coffee 30 to 60 minutes prior to exercising to give me that extra boost. Branched chain amino acids, or BCAAs, are a group of 3 essential amino acids: leucine, isoleucine, and valine, which can't be produced by the body and must be consumed from food. It is one of the most common sports supplements consumed pre and also during exercising to boost muscle growth and enhance exercise performance. And they may also help with weight loss and reduce muscle soreness after exercising. Now that you know what to eat before your training for you to maximize your performance, what you consume after your training is equally, if not even more important. The main purpose of a post-workout meal is to supply your body with everything it needs to rehydrate, repair, replenish, refuel, recover, and keep improving your future performance. Once again, your body needs both carbs and protein. However, the emphasis for post-workout is on protein. Eating a high-protein meal after exercise helps your body to minimize muscle protein breakdown. stimulate protein synthesis, which leads to increase in muscle tissue, replenish muscle glycogen, reduce muscle soreness, reduce cortisol, also known as stress hormone levels. So how soon should you consume your post-workout meal? The simple answer is as soon as possible. Within the first 60 minutes after your workout, or even better, within the first 30 minutes. Why is the timing of your post-workout meal so crucial? If your body has exhausted all its reserves during the workout, it will resort to breaking down muscle in order to fuel itself. And we want to avoid that because it is not easy to build muscle mass. I'm sure we have seen fitness people consuming a protein shake immediately after their training session. That's because a protein shake is a super convenient and fast post-workout recovery drink that has a good balance of both protein and carbs. And sometimes you may find that your appetite is suppressed following a tough workout, hence making liquid nutrition a more appealing option. Some of you may ask, is it enough just to consume protein shake? Do I still need to consume a real meal? The answer is yes. Remember that protein shake is a supplement, and the purpose is to supplement your diet. It should not be replacing real whole foods. You have to still consume a real meal with a balance of protein, starchy carbs, and healthy fats within 1 to 2 hours after your workout. Your body tolerates and processes carbohydrates most efficiently in the 3-hour window post-workout. So this is your best window to eat your starchier carbs. Eating carbs after exercise will replenish your glycogen stores, which you have used up during your workout. And it will also improve your ability to bounce back and come back stronger for your next workout. Here's a general guideline of what your post-workout meal should contain. For protein, 0.25 grams per pound of your target body weight. And for carbs, 0.25 to 0.05 grams per pound of your target body weight. Remember, this is just a guideline. If you were to perform more intense weight training session that lasts up to 90 minutes, or if your goal is to build more lean muscles, then you may require more protein in your diet. Another common question is it a must to consume protein shakes post-workout? The answer is no. If you're able to consume a proper real meal within 30 to 45 minutes after you've finished training, then it is not necessary to consume protein shakes. Protein shakes act as a supplement, which is super convenient and easily accessible. Here are some examples of post-workout meals. The bottom line is that you need both carbs and protein pre and post-workout for sustained energy, improved performance, and better muscle recovery. There isn't a one-size-fits-all solution when it comes down to having the right meal and timing. You have to keep trying different meals and timing and see which fits your body and the type of activity you do. For example, I perform better when I consume a small snack 30 minutes before training, whereas some of you might find that you need at least an hour window of eating prior to exercising. It is also important to remember that your pre- and post-workout snacks should be included as part of your total daily calorie intake. And last but not least, staying hydrated and drinking sufficient water before, during, and after all your workouts is one of the most important steps you can take to properly fuel your body and achieve the results you're looking for. It's important to minimize dehydration, which can cause low energy and muscle cramps or spasms. If you have any other questions in regards to pre- and post-workout nutrition or any other training questions, do let me know in the comments below.
glow. To the edge you always go. Love the earth while it cracks. Always wondering when you come back. Feeling free is all you know. You see fear as a new way to grow. I felt it all, the change you made, a great escape. Broke down the walls that were supposed to be part of it all. And if the moon moved me as it does the waves, why not be brave? All I see, I strive to see all of me. If I am all I see, I strive to see all of me. And if the sun sets, rises again, then I can never stop, then we will never end.
is the DASH diet and why doctors call it one of the best diets. Doctors say that this diet is the most effective way to improve your overall condition. According to the National Institute of Health, it scored a 3.3 out of 5 in the weight loss effectiveness category and 4.5 out of 5 in health usefulness. Out of 40 diets evaluated, it was chosen number 1. So who is this all-star? It's something called the DASH diet. The DASH diet is an easy, safe, and useful plan that can help you feel better and get rid of excess weight. You can lose weight gradually, no starving or yo-yo dieting. It won't shock or stress your body out. DASH stands for Dietary Approaches to Stop Hypertension. It's a diet developed specifically to reduce blood pressure in those with hypertension. But scientists understood later on that this diet resolves tons of other health issues. It reduces cholesterol, prevents stroke and heart failure, and brings weight down to a healthy level, even for those with obesity. Plus, it's considered the best diet to prevent diabetes. Besides controlling blood pressure, people following it manage to improve insulin resistance. What's it all about? The DASH diet balances all the necessary nutrients and minerals, like calcium, potassium, protein, and fiber, that are responsible for brain and overall organ function. It improves the condition of your hair and skin as well. What's convenient about this diet is that you don't have to calculate and monitor each nutrient. You just need to reduce your salt intake and eat certain recommended foods. For instance, fruits, vegetables, grains, protein-rich foods, and dairy products. Compared to trendy crash diets, DASH is different. This is a complete lifestyle change. It's for people who need to take care of their eating habits throughout their lives. There's no cutting out or starving involved. You can have all sorts of tasty dishes. You just need to keep in mind a few general rules. It's not about the quantity of the food as much as it is about the quality. Drink 67 ounces of fluids per day. Ideally, it should be still water or green tea. Just limit the tea to no more than 4 cups a day. Try to eat 5 times per day. One serving should be no more than 8.8 ounces, so it's basically better to have smaller portions but eat more often. Limit your daily calorie intake. It should be around 2,000 to 2,500 a day. If you have a sweet tooth, you'll need to control yourself. You don't have to stop eating sweet foods completely, just no more than 5 times a week. Try to eat more cereals, seeds, beans, lean meats, and vegetables. You should avoid drinking soda or alcohol. This is because too much alcohol elevates your blood pressure. Plus, it harms your liver, heart, and brain. Limit your snacks to no more than 8 per day in between meals, but have a bite only if you're really hungry, not bored. Remember that tobacco use is prohibited. Reduce your salt intake to a maximum of 2 to 3 teaspoons a day. Your diet should include whole wheat bread. Exclude smoked or fatty foods, pickles, pastries, and canned fish or meat. What you can eat. According to the DASH principle, to come up with a proper diet plan, you should keep in mind your goals. Do you want to lose weight or become healthier? If you want to slim down, your menu should contain fewer calories. In other words, you need to reduce the size of your servings. For anyone on the DASH diet, you can have the following. Cereals. No more than 7 servings per day. One serving should be a slice of bread, half a cup of cooked pasta, or half a cup of oatmeal, for example. Fruit. No more than 5 servings a day. This could be 1 fruit, a quarter cup of dried fruits, or half a cup of juice. Vegetables. 5 servings in a day. Half a cup of steamed vegetables could be a serving. Non-fat dairy products. 2 to 3 servings per day. For instance, 1.8 ounces of cheese or 5 ounces of milk would do just fine. Seeds, beans, and nuts. 5 servings a week. One serving is 1.4 ounces. Animal and vegetable fats. 3 servings per day. This could be 1 teaspoon of olive or linseed oil. Sweet dishes. No more than 5 times a week. A teaspoon of honey or jam is okay. Fluids. Again, 67 ounces per day. Water is preferred, but green tea and juice are fine too. Protein. 7 ounces of lean meat, fish, or eggs a day is ideal. What to avoid? Of course, it is a diet and lifestyle change, so you'll have to avoid all the typical unhealthy products. Fast food and chips, smoked and canned food, salami, sausage, fatty meat, candy, cookies, and other sweets, soft drinks. Because our bodies form a dependency to junk food, you can eliminate harmful products little by little. Don't try to go cold turkey. You're only setting yourself up for failure. Take baby steps. Over time, your cravings will disappear. How to plan your diet. You can create your own menu by taking into consideration the diet's rules and incorporating the products you're allowed to eat. You don't have to do anything special to create your diet plan. You just need to include the necessary products and gradually exclude the bad ones. If your goal is to lose weight, cut the amount of recommended servings. You can also find all kinds of tasty DASH-approved dishes on the internet. An abundance of recipes for appetizers, drinks, main dishes, and even desserts can be found there once you look for them. Weight loss benefits. The DASH diet wasn't originally designed for weight loss, but there have been some studies proving that this eating plan can help people get rid of unwanted pounds. In a 2006 study, researchers divided 810 adults with borderline to mild hypertension into 3 groups. The first group was given some general advice on how to change their lifestyles so that they could get their blood pressure under control. The second group were given instructions to keep their sodium intake under 2,300 milligrams a day, exercise, and limit their alcohol consumption. People in the third group had to follow the same directions as those from the second group, but also eat according to the DASH guidelines. After a year and a half, people from the second group became approximately 8 pounds lighter, while those from the DASH group lost an average of 9.5 pounds. And these results were significantly better than the results of the first group, who managed to drop only 3 pounds on average. Is it easy to follow the DASH eating plan? First, let's consult with the experts. According to those numbers from the National Institute of Health we mentioned earlier, DASH scored a 3.4 out of 5 in the category of easiness to follow. But of course, we're only human. It'll be a bit hard to say no to your favorite salty, sugary, or fatty treats. Otherwise, this diet doesn't restrict you from entire food groups. There are tons of recipe options out there, so you'll definitely find something suited to your taste. Get ready to experience some difficulties going out. Most restaurants serve huge portions of salty or fatty food, so when you go out to eat, opt for fruits and vegetables and avoid soups. Also, ask the chef not to season your meal. As for alcohol, you can allow yourself a bit every now and then, but remember that you still have to limit yourself. For the ladies, that's no more than 1 drink a day. Men shouldn't have more than 2 per day. And what's considered a drink? That's 5 ounces of wine, 1.5 ounces of liquor, or 12 ounces of beer. A nice feature of this diet is that you never feel hungry. The main idea is to have a satisfied feeling of fullness. Remember, no starvation. Yes! It might be hard to live without chips, pickles, or cookies at first, but your palate will adjust. Plus, your meals won't taste bland if you add some spices and herbs. Have you ever tried the DASH diet? If so, how did you like it? Tell us in the comments below. Remember to hit the like button.
So today I'm going to share with you my top 10 fitness tips. Just 10 little things that I always tell my clients, that I always tell myself about your overall fitness and hitting your goals. So no wasting time today, we're going to get straight into it. Number 1, don't expect to get results straight away. Don't expect to get the same amount of results as the person next to you or anyone that you see online. Everyone is different. It's going to take a different amount of time for you than it did for me, than it will for Bob next door. Don't expect the same thing in the same amount of time, and don't expect it to happen overnight. Don't go into it with this high expectation that you're going to do 1 cardio session and lose 1 kilo, because it's not going to work that way. You need to be realistic that your body works different to everyone else's. I mean, sure, we're all, born as human beings, but that doesn't mean our bodies all work the same way. Scientifically speaking, yes, they do, but we're not all exactly the same. One thing might work differently for me to what it does to you. One food might react differently with my body to what it does with yours. You need to keep that in mind. And on the back of that point, don't give up if it doesn't happen after a month or 2 months or a year. Keep trying, keep experimenting, but don't give up. Number 2. You have to work hard. A little light jog here and there and, you know, some low intensity work at the gym that's not really getting your heart rate up is not going to get the job done. If you've got big weight loss goals or muscle gain goals or really any goals around fitness, you have to work hard. You have to put in the hard yards. You have to sweat. No matter what it is you're doing, if it's weightlifting, running, yoga, Pilates, you need to give it your all. You have to put in 100%. If you turn up every day and bring 20 or 30% of your A game and you just kind of cruise along and then wonder why you're not getting results, you're not working hard enough. You want to be out of breath. You want to be sweaty. You want your muscles to be burning. You want to feel like you've really done something, like you've given it your all. And yes, you can have those days and those lighter sessions where you back off a little bit because you're not really feeling it, but you've got to put in the effort. You need to challenge yourself. Number 3, mix things up. Don't stick to the same old boring routine. Your routine might not be boring. You might love it. You might love the exercises you're doing. You might love the work you're doing, but don't stay on this line, okay? Mix it up. Mix up your intensity. Go for different methods, different styles of training, incorporate different exercises, lift heavier weights, always push yourself further, find the next best thing. When you start to get really comfortable in what you're doing, it's not really making you sore anymore, it's not challenging you, find something else, incorporate a different exercise. You know, if you're constantly doing push-ups, make a variation, choose something different, make sure that you are always progressing and going upwards. Number 4. You gotta eat well. You might be busting your balls in the gym, absolutely killing it, and then you're coming home and having a pizza every night or a can of soft drinks straight away or takeaway for dinner every night. You have to realize that fitness and food are one. You can't out-train a bad diet. You really, really need to understand that burning off calories doesn't give you the right to eat like shit. If you're not eating a nutritionally balanced diet, you just won't get the results. But don't try and spot target. If you are trying to lose weight or body fat from a certain area, do not try and spot target. You can't do crunches and lose the fat from your abdomen just from doing those crunches. You need to do compound things, bigger things, work the whole body. Just because you work one area does not mean the fat is going to fall off in that area. Yes, you'll build the muscle in that area, which can help make it look more toned and bring out the appearance of the muscle a little bit more, but you just can't spot target. It just doesn't work. If you are trying to lose big numbers on the scale, be more compound. Work your body overall more. So if you're trying to lose 20 kilos, doing some bicep curls in the gym, working just one arm at a time is not the right way to go about it. You need to be doing bigger movements like a squat with a press or deadlifts or, you know, squat jumps, something that's going to work your entire body, get your heart rate up a little bit more. And if you're trying to lose a little bit of belly fat to show your abs a bit more, don't just stick to crunches. Do some sprints, do a little bit of high intensity cardio, add things like squat jumps. The more you get your heart rate up, the more you challenge your body, the more you're going to lose body fat from everywhere. You'll get there faster. 6, don't forget to stretch. You cannot work out to the best of your ability if your muscles are tight and cramped and you have bad mobility. And bad mobility is so common. I mean, I have terrible mobility. A lot of people have terrible mobility, but you need to stretch. Focus on active recovery. Go for light walks, do some yoga, you know, look after your body more than just smashing it in the gym. Number 7, take time off. Don't forget to take a week off if you feel like you need it. If you've been pumping it really hard for a few weeks, a few months, a year, take a week off. Sit back, relax, give your body a well-deserved break. Sometimes the time off will have you come back faster and fitter and stronger than constantly pushing your body down, 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 down. 8, scales. Instead of focusing on the scales all the time, take your measurements. You know, take your waist, your bust, your hips, your bicep. Take different measurements. That is going to show you a lot more results than just stepping on the scales. You might see centimeters come off when you don't see a change on the scales, and it'll make you feel better, it'll make you feel like you're progressing more. And take your body fat percentage, especially if you have lost the main amount of weight that you want to, but you want to start toning up and shifting a little bit of body fat. take your body fat percentage, get a personal trainer to do it for you, or go get a more complex scan. That's gonna give you a lot more accurate results than just stepping on the scales every day. Number 9, try plyometrics. Plyometrics is jumping exercises, incredibly effective. Probably not for you if you've got really bad ankle or knee problems, or you know that you can't jump a lot, but plyometrics are amazing. If you've been doing a lot of cardio and you're not seeing results, try plyo. It will get your heart rate up just as much as going for a 10-kilometer run or doing some sprints on the treadmill, and it will burn more body fat. It is super, super effective. Really good for building muscle, losing weight, increasing cardiovascular fitness, everything. So do things like burpees, squat jumps, tuck jumps, box jumps, star jumps. Add those kind of things into your sessions. Number 10, last but not least, ask for help if you need it. Don't be afraid to tell someone you're stuck, or that you don't know what's right for you, or that you're not sure where to go. There's people out there that can help you, like me. A personal trainer can give you a workout plan. A nutritionist can help you with your food. A physiotherapist can help you if your knee is really, really bugging you and it's always sore and it's, affecting your ability to train. Don't be afraid to go and ask someone when you need their help. It will really help you in the long run. It'll make sure you get to your goals faster and just give you that peace of mind as well to know that you're on the right track. So that is it. They are my top 10 tips for overall fitness and how to hit your goals a little bit faster. I hope you liked them. I hope there was something in there that you haven't heard me ramble on about before. But anyway, please leave me your thoughts in the comments, and a big thumbs up if you liked this, because it really supports my channel. Please subscribe if you haven't already. I'm uploading new videos every week, so I'll see you soon. Bye.
Now back to the topic in question, being productive. We've all been there, feeling like there's just too much to do and not feeling like you want to do it, or not knowing where to begin. And look, I'm like anybody else. I love procrastinating to watching YouTube videos, and sometimes if things feel like it's just too much, I'll take a nap. But I can say with confidence that the majority of the time, I'm a very productive person. And this is not a talent, it's not a trait I was born with, it's something that I learned. I learned it from my mentors, from dozens of audiobooks, from blog posts, from trial and error, from putting it into practice. So that's the purpose of this video. I want to share with you some of the things that have helped me to be more productive in hopes that it might help you too. So let's get started. Sometimes we learn new things but fail to put them into practice. Productivity is not just about knowledge, it's about application of that knowledge. Of course, you only need to utilize those items or topics that you think might actually help you in achieving greater productivity. Use your morning to focus on the most important thing of them all. You. Checking your emails or your calendar first thing can only drain your energy and your feel-good vibes. Before you dive into it all, make sure that you're getting in a wholesome breakfast or doing anything else that's important to make you feel refreshed in the morning. This can be meditating, working out, adding to your gratitudes list, or snuggling with a pet or partner. Whatever it is, start your day strong by focusing on your number one priority, which is you above all else. I owe the person I've become to two different things, my family and audiobooks. I cannot begin to tell you how powerful audiobooks have been for me in my life. For me, it's like having a professional life coach on demand. Nothing quite increases my productivity like when I'm listening to self-improvement books written by some of the most influential people in the world. For the last 3 years, I've been using the app Audible to listen to my books, so when they reached out to kindly support and sponsor this video, it should go without saying that I was thrilled. I especially love listening to motivational books when I'm exercising in the morning. The endorphin rush combined with uplifting messages always gets me so excited to get back to work and to power through it all with vigor. And if it's a day when I don't feel like exercising, I'll just spend 5 or 10 minutes while I'm in bed or getting breakfast ready listening to something uplifting. I also like listening to audiobooks when I'm in the car or cleaning or doing laundry. It makes me feel like I'm accomplishing even more when I'm doing mundane tasks. If you too feel like this is something that could help to increase your productivity or motivation, go to audible.com/pickuplimes for an exclusive 30-day free trial, plus you get a free book of your choice. If I can personally recommend a book, I would say Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. My sister recommended it to me. I am so thankful that she did. I've listened to this book at least 3 times, and I would not have started Pickup Limes if it wasn't for the words of encouragement I heard every morning in this book. Creating a ritual around your most productive time can really help you to get into a flow state. So consider the environment or the mood that you might be able to create. For me personally, I can't work at a desk that's really messy or cluttered. So my ritual includes creating a clear space, putting on some instrumental calm music, and having a drink by my side. This could be something like tea or a carbonated water with a splash of juice. When these things are combined, I enter this autopilot mode that lets me know it's time to get things done. Getting things done doesn't mean squeezing as many items as possible into your already jam-packed day. I mean, do you really need 40 items on your to-do list? Instead, let's try a less is more approach by accomplishing those things that really matter. But how do you know which things really matter? The Matrix. Not the movie, that would be procrastinating again. Using the PDF or drawing it on a notepad or whiteboard, you're going to create the Eisenhower decision matrix. One axis is labeled importance, the other axis is labeled urgency. Now all you want to do is take the items that are on your to-do list and categorize them based on whether they're high or low in their importance or urgency. So for example, you might have a chemistry test in 2 days. It's urgent because it's fast approaching, and it's important because you care about your grades, hopefully. In the second quadrant, you might put something like responding to emails. It's something that's of high importance to do, but might not be so urgent. Returning a t-shirt might be urgent based on the store's return policy, but it might not be so important. You get the idea. Once you've categorized all the items, recreate your to-do list with only a select few items that are of the highest priority that you need to tackle first. This is something I do all the time on my whiteboard at home. It allows me to be more effective at getting the most crucial things done first, and that's always a very rewarding feeling. Let's create a more productive way of managing your time. One suggestion that really works for me is to knock off as many of the challenging, high priority items as possible before noon when you've still got the energy. Then you can save things like meetings or more mindless busy work for later in the afternoon or evenings when you've started to run out of some steam. I used to get distracted responding to emails all day long, and it can really ruin your productivity. So another tip is to get into the habit of scheduling certain times when you manage your inbox. Anytime outside of that, consider your inbox out of service. The same can be said for any social media that you might use. In this way, you're not getting distracted and you can focus on accomplishing those goals that really matter throughout the day. Now that you've scheduled when to check your emails, you want to also make sure that you're scheduling breaks. Breaks are so important to productivity. You need to recharge. This can be something like going for a short walk or grabbing a bite to eat or even a healthy snack to replenish your glucose stores. And keep in mind that glucose is what your brain prefers as its energy source, so something like some fruit or crackers with hummus should do the trick. In this way, you'll come back recharged and ready to achieve things with greater efficiency. It's not about creating items on your to-do list and then crossing them off. It's also about recognizing the accomplishments you've made, writing them down, and making them visible. If you can't see how far you've come or the accomplishments that you've made, then what's the reward really? So nothing is ever just crossed off my to-do list, never to be seen again. If it gets crossed off, it just means that it's added to the accomplishments list, something you can look back at with pride. And sometimes I'll even add things to my accomplishments list that wasn't necessarily a to-do item. Seeing the accomplishments, regardless of what they might be, give you more motivation to continue to be productive. At least that's how it is for me. I've asked you this before, I'm gonna ask you it again. What is your why? Sometimes when we focus on the list of all the things that need to be done, it can be a bummer. So instead, let's shift our focus to some of those more feel-good feelings. So why is it that you want to be productive? For me personally, I love to get things done. Not because I have a strong willpower, but rather because I have a strong why power. And if you find the work that you're doing isn't intrinsically rewarding on its own, then perhaps you can create your own reward of sorts. This could be something like watching your favorite TV show or spending some time with friends once the task is completed. Mornings can be a source of stress for a lot of people. Rushing to get ready so that you can head out the door, or thinking about all the things that need to be done in that day. For me personally, mornings are my favorite part of the day, and by adopting these 10 healthy morning habits, I think it might become yours too, if it isn't already. I'm adamantly against rushing in the morning. I think how our day begins no problem. You can fill out the questions found on the downloadable PDF. The questions to answer: what am I thinking? How am I feeling emotionally and why? How am I feeling physically? What are my 2 intentions for the day? What are 2 things I'm grateful for? And what is 1 thing that could increase my happiness today? By checking in daily with what's going on inside of you, you'll have more control and understanding on what's going on around you. Some people recommend drawing up a plan or a to-do list for your day in the morning, but personally, I prefer to do that the night before. That way I can hit the ground running. Instead, I spend a couple of minutes in the morning reviewing this list and actually visualizing what I'm going to get done for the day. Visualization is an extremely powerful tool, so if you can dedicate even a minute or 2 to actually playing out a movie in your mind's eye of the things that are important for you to get done in the day, they're more likely to happen. Prepping your snacks for the day in the morning means that you'll be less likely to graze throughout the day or reach for unhealthy, convenient foods when hunger strikes. Cut up some fruit so it's ready to eat, portion out some nut butter and crackers, or set aside some dried fruit like figs or dates so they're on hand when you need something to keep your energy up. I mentioned this in a previous video and a habit that I certainly live by. So try getting into the habit of clearing the surfaces in your home before you leave for the day. Clear the kitchen counter, dining table, coffee table of any clutter, and do the dishes too. By doing this, even if you've had a really long and stressful day, you know that you can come home to a clean space. You might have heard about this important thing called exercise. Don't worry, I'm not about to preach to you to start. I mean, you know it's useful to do, and if it's something you haven't already started, then maybe we just need to try a new approach. Remember that the scariest part is always just before you begin. Try starting by just getting some fresh air. Step out onto the balcony or have your tea in the yard in the morning. If that gets too easy, then get off the bus 1 stop early and walk the extra bit. Or try biking to work or school if possible. If the weather's stopping you, try doing some light stretching inside. Little changes made in increments are going to get you closer to an active morning in no time. And if you're somebody who prefers to exercise in the evening, it's still important to get a little bit of fresh air or maybe some light stretching in the morning if you can. And there you have it, 10 healthy morning habits. I hope that you found them helpful.